Hello and welcome back to the Nasty Metal Production channel here at YouTube, and welcome to another CD collection update. This, of course, will be the third one for this year, and I got plenty to show here. But I'm going to at least begin this with at least these three here, because it all has a very interesting story here. Alright. Okay, so just to get right into it. Where do I really begin? I guess to really make a short, at least a long story short, the first album that I'm going to be showing, because I'm going to be showing two, at least of the same copy. So, it is Electric from the Cult, right here. Again, this being a Canadian CD pressing that I found on eBay, again through a Vertigo Records / Polydor. So, because this is the first copy, so I guess to really, again, to make a long story short, the reason I probably end up with two copies of this is, well, when I purchased this on eBay, it was used, I put it on. I mean, of course, I should also say the reason it's also used, it also in the description box, or at least the description, says there are light scratches. Alright, I have no problem with light scratches. I got plenty of CDs that have some light scratches and they always play fine. So, when it finally comes, and it wasn't very that expensive, it was like, what, $6 I think, for the price of this disc here. Again, free shipping. So I get it, I put it on. I guess on my CD player here, it skips. It's skipping bad. And at least on one of these songs, it skips pretty freaking bad. That would be track number 5. No, track number 4. It would be. And so I'm like, I don't know what to fucking do. It was bad. So again, I was like, maybe I can salvage this. I can rip it onto maybe a burned CD. I put it into the computer. At least here. Ooh. It's bad. I now, again, $6 really, it wouldn't be, you know, much of a big deal, right? To me, I felt like I paid more for a disc that's been badly, that plays in bad condition. So I'm like absolutely pissed. It's a good album, actually. It's a very good record. I wish I had this, at least bought this some years ago, especially when I saw it at Raspin. I wish I did, but I turned my nose up. Because again, the only Cult album I have in my collection is Ceremony. A good album too. So, everything, and I tried even ripping it through EAC. Oh my god, it was almost going to, it seemed like it was going to take me, I don't know, 2 days to rip at the speed it is. It was just, there's nothing salvaging any of this copy. So I pretty much go and contact the seller about basically on the disc itself, and he was actually very nice actually. He feels sorry that I'm not satisfied with it. I mean, fuck. I was always going to go on here and the rant about how I think the people who are going to sell a used CD on eBay should listen to their fucking CD before they go on and put it up for sale. Because $6 for a disc that plays in this bad a condition, I mean, there's some pretty bad scratches on this disc. So I told him, and again, he was very nice enough to say that I can ask for a refund. So that's what I do, though. He definitely gives me the just the notion of saying don't send this back. All right, he pretty much made it very clear, don't send this back. That's why I still have it with me, this particular copy. So I couldn't really send this back, but he did give me my money back. So I got the money for it back, and of course went ahead and purchased the 2001 or 2002, I think this might have been. They don't really tend to give out the year when this was really reissued. Yeah, just the recent, just a reissue of it, and again, brand new off of Amazon. So I at least have now a copy that plays good. Again, very good album. But with the money that I had gotten back with all the refund, I went to put it to something else, and that's why it's going to lead into the album that's playing in the background. Again, it is Blood Red from a very, still somewhat obscure U.S. metal band called Tattoo. This was, again, a old album that was released on Metal Blade Records, Enigma, back in 1988. And again, the reason I always felt like getting this is because I've seen some people show this on the VC plenty of times. I always saw it, and I felt like I wanted to kind of check this one out. So I go on to Discogs, and I just see where, just to kind of see what else sellers are going for it, what they're selling this for. I found a Russian seller who's selling this for a really good price, very cheap, $4 plus $4 shipping. Again, out of Russia, Moscow. So I decide, this is all the way back in February 6th, so I purchased this. And of course, after purchasing it, the guy still has yet to somewhat change it from payment pending to then payment received. So I had to basically remind the guy, and so he did, and shipped it 4 days later, that was the idea. Well, took some months though for it to get out of Russia because of the last sort of tracking that I had, because he gave me tracking, and it made it out of Russian customs on February 26th, and that was it. There was no other tracking information, nothing got updated. So it stayed like that from the rest of April or March to April, until I decided to fucking check the Universal Parcel tracking site to see if it updated. It was on April 29th. Just on that day, it's now made it to New York. So 2 months basically I waited for this. It then made it to the United States. So, and then finally it's in my hands on Wednesday, this past Wednesday. So basically February to May. So it took a very long time for this to come, and here it is. And again, good album. Really dig this one. They're kind of throwing a short little comment. I've seen Metal Theologian's video on it was like stoner rock versus glammy hard rock, and I feel like this one would fall in the line of some very glammy hard rock, because while it's still very metal, it still has a very hard sound to it, but at the same time it's still somewhat really, it flirts with a sort of glammy sort of writing. And again, 1988, it kind of flirts with some of it, even though this album was actually recorded twice. 1985, where it was then released independently on cassette, minus one song, though, including one additional song that's not on this version. And then re-recorded again in 1988, and then released domestically throughout, at least on Roadrunner, Metal Blade, and so on. So, again, it does flirt that, but it still is a very fun, solid album. So I do dig it. So there we go, back cover. Of course, I should have definitely mentioned that the guy at the Russian seller at least sent this without a jewel case. It's just a CD, front cover and back cover, and a little plastic sleeve, and then cardboard. Again, to save on shipping price. So again, very good album. I really do dig this one. So, Blood Red from Tattoo. All right, let's get into some more easier ones to talk about here. Again, I'm going to run through these as much. Again, I know I said long story short, but it still felt very long. So, all right, so I ended up after I had posted my collection update, my last one, which was episode number 29. I then finally was able to get this one in the mail afterwards. But again, I did a review on it, so I don't have to talk too much about it. It is Too Mean to Die from Accept, again released through Nuclear Blast. this past January. I think like January 29th is when this came out. Again, solid album. I do really like this one a lot, actually. I think it's a very solid album from Accept. So, very good. Then, there we go. Good album. Next up, again, we're on the run through these now. Again, new one. Again, did a review on it anyways. But Inspirations from Saxon. Released through, of course, Silver Lining Music. Again, on, I think this past February as well. I remember, I think. But again, it's their covers album. So, very good. Very glad to have it. Again, very good album. Of course, I did a review, so I don't have to talk too much about it. But there you go. Inspirations from Saxon. The most recent one. Alright, so on this one, this next one here, because they are putting on a new album, and I have that one the new one pre-ordered anyways. But I didn't have this one when it came out. I didn't get it. But I wanted to get it before the new one was to come out, so I can listen to it. And I showed this one in my Soul Grinder Zine, was an Unearthed Mail episode. But it is the Guillotine, no, not Guillotine, Ghastly Waves and Battered Graves from Vulture. Again, released through Metal Blade Records back in 2018. Fucking good album. These guys are really good. Just a great German speed metal / thrash metal band. At times this sound really does play with more sort of thrash metal stuff. It's a very good album. The thing is, the more times I listen to this one, as much as I love the Guillotine, I think this one at times is actually better than the Guillotine. I've seen some people knock this album. I don't know what album they're listening to, but I guess some people just want speed for speed. This album does actually, they really turn down a lot of it. They tone it down, which actually sometimes gives some of the songs some room to breathe. And there's a lot of good stuff on this one. Again, I can't get over the fact that for an album that was released in 2018, it sounds like it could have been released in 1986 or 87. It just has that sort of production, that recording quality. It's just, and that atmosphere. Ooh, it's so good. Very good album from these guys, and this one does feature a cover of Killer on the Loose from Thin Lizzy. And, well, what you expect for, like, when thrash metal bands take on classic rock tracks, they really tend to thrash it up, and that's what they did. And sometimes some have found it weird, but I don't know. The more times I listen to it, I think it's got a very interesting feel going on to it. It's just has a hypnotic groove to it, and it's just what they did with Kill on the Loose. It's a good track, so I like it a lot. So, Ghastly Waves and Battered Graves from Vulture. Alright, these next two again, got these as a part of my, again, as the Soul Grinder Scene Unearthed Mail episode. Again, these are for sure, this one right here, Skin Deep 5-Way Split CD. Did a review on it, so I don't have to talk too much about it. It's a good split anyways. All female thrash metal and hardcore punk or death metal bands on here. Fucking great. Did a review on it, so I don't have to talk too much about it. And of course, this next one again, the last of the Soul Grinder Zine. I know I got two more I got to show, but right now I'm just focusing on these. But this one here is the 4-Way Split one. Again, reviewed this one already, so I don't have to talk too much about it, but it's very good. Again, mostly, more thrash metal and sometimes blackened thrash metal bands. It's all good. All great stuff. So, there we go. Alright, so, finally, last one. Not really metal, but I try to at least give these guys some sort of support, even if sometimes it feels like I might be knocking these guys. But it's the newest album from these guys. It is this one right here. The Battle at Garden's Gate from Greta Van Fleet. Yeah, I know. You know, I do have to kind of say this, alright? Get out of my way. Well, I don't hate these guys. I think there's something interesting going on for them. They do have that sort of early 70s, late 60s sort of British rock sound. I do like it. I did like, of course, the, again, From the Fire EP, and, of course, At the Gate, what was it? Anthem of the Peaceful Army. I like that. I do kind of like Anthem of the Peaceful Army, but one of my biggest negatives for Anthem of the Peaceful Army is that I thought I had a pretty good first half, but by the second half, I felt like kind of meandered here and there. Besides at least one or two good songs, I just felt it meandered a bit. And to me, I thought the absolute best song on Anthem the Peaceful Army was Lover Leaver, Taker Believer. Okay? That I thought was the best track, because it was a heavy, sort of straight up, heavy 70s kind of song. But that was about it. Now I'm starting, that album's growing on me, but this album, I don't know what it is, but somehow it hit me better than Anthem the Peaceful Army. I know the thing is, I was a little bit kind of cringing a bit when I saw the time length for it. 62 minutes, 12 songs. I'm like, oh god. But something about it, and I know I heard some of the songs ahead of time, some of it, it's soft in places, but the way they do it, for some reason, it just hit me better. It seems to really, it flows better for me compared to Anthem the Peaceful Army. I don't know what it is about it, but I think I like this one better. It's actually, there's still plenty of good 70s or heavy 70s style songs on this album. There still is a little bit of that sort of heavy blues rock feel going on. But they're definitely kind of adding in some more epic style grandeur kind of stuff. It sometimes might come off a little pretentious, but I think they do it in a way that it seems a little sincere. And the thing is, I should almost feel like the reason that why I felt hesitant was because the guy who also produced this one, who's done some artists I don't give a shit about most of the time, but he did something good with it. It's got up for an album that from this year, or at least an album that is produced this clean, this squeaky freaking clean. It's got a real 70s feel to it. They really are still expanding on that, but they're doing it in a way that I don't feel is Led Zeppelin and copy. They do have something that I feel is more so, even more expanding on what they would have done if they had kept going and if it wasn't for John Bonham dying. Still, good album. I don't think it's like, yes, I played it a couple of times. It's a good album. So, not bad. Again, it seems weird that an album like this is still in my collection, or at least Greta Van Fleet is a band that is in my collection. But again, I got a little bit of admiration for these guys, so I kind of like them. So, there we go. There is my most recent collection update. If you have any thoughts on any of the albums I showed in here, if you have any sort of memories or thoughts on just on sellers and shit that took so long to come to the United States, you can leave those comments in the comment section below. So with that, I hope all of you enjoyed. This is Every Thrash Head. Sam out. I'll see you all later. Take care, everyone.